All right, media, if you can start raising your hand in the chat for head coach Derek Fisher. We'll get started in a second here. For those joining for the first time, you can click chat and then the raise hand function. We'll start with Adam Grossbard, LA Daily News.
Derek, your team held Chicago to 5 of 20 shooting in the fourth quarter with 4 turnovers. How did the team, make its adjustments over the course of the game to get to that level of intensity? And then just, are there any updates on Sydney and Brittany?
Well, first Sydney and Brittany, they both, are banged up pretty good. We'll get more information probably tomorrow morning. Will be the first opportunity to get, MRIs and those type of things, just to make sure we're certain of what actually is going on. But definitely both banged up pretty good. So we'll be able to let you know hopefully tomorrow with a little more clarity on those two. And then, in terms of the game itself, there are certain teams. I mean, this is one of the most efficient, fastest paced offenses in the league, and it's tough to simulate playing against that type of speed until the game starts. And to me, that's what Chicago is so good at doing. Like they're on top of you with how fast Quigley is moving. Vandersloot's craftiness with the basketball. Obviously, Cheyenne Parker was really effective in the first half, and it just took us a while to kind of figure out how to cut into, disrupting some of the things that they were doing offensively. And the players, they deserve a lot of the credit for making those adjustments. I thought Raquan Williams and Taya Cooper and Tierra Ruffin-Pratt really all came in off the bench. And as we lost Sydney and lost Brittany, they were really able to solidify us on the defensive end. And I think that's what helped us hold on to this game.
Doug Feinberg, Associated Press.
Hey, Coach, those are all great points. Obviously, Candace had a wonderful game for you. She was 10 of 12 from the field, and I don't know if she came out in the second half. She might have played all 20 minutes, it looked like. I wasn't paying that close attention, but just talk about her game tonight for you and what she brought as a leader to get you guys that win.
Yeah, no, she didn't come out in the second half, and just for her and all of our players, we just try to pay attention to, how is she moving, how is she playing, is she still reacting well to the situations that she's in defensively and offensively, and we just thought in the second half, Candace still looked like she was able to make whatever play was necessary to be made. She was still running the floor well, rebounding, talking, communicating, and still being dominant offensively when she had her opportunities. And so we decided to stick with her, and try and finish the game out. And, I think she found, great opportunities when they were there. But, we also kind of kept the ball moving and had just some good balance to our offense that I think that's what is allowing us to be more efficient, even than we were last season. There's just more ball movement and player movement. I think more players are making the extra pass and trying to create an opportunity that's better for their teammate, and it's leading to some really good offense for us. And if we can continue to take care of the basketball and just be smart, in some situations, where time and score come into play, I think we can be even more effective on the offensive end.
Sorry, I was on mute. Dorothy Gentry, New York Times, go ahead.
Coach, hi. It seems the team turned on a switch in late game situations. Is that a concern for you these last 3 games of the season? And secondly, do you have any concern if you are going to be 2 bodies down this last week, this last push?
Yeah, definitely concerned about the bodies for sure. In a season like this one where, the players have been asked to take on so much physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, to be honest. When you start losing bodies, as a lot of teams have faced, during the season, it just makes it really difficult to be as much of who you are capable of being. So hopefully we can figure it out. That's why we ask everybody to stay ready throughout the season. I think for us, I don't know if our team waits to necessarily flip a switch. I think that there's great balance in this league. There's 12 teams. There's more parity than what people may perceive. And I think again, Chicago and a lot of teams that play with the pace that they play with, it takes you a while to get a feel for what you're facing. And I think for our team, with the veterans that we have and the experience that we have, we're not going to be electric every night. Honestly, we're not going to be overly excited about playing every night in the regular season. I've been on teams myself where that you're not going to be as excited about a middle season game as you are about a game in the finals. That's kind of part of the psychology of why it's difficult to repeat as a champion, and working through all of those things. So, we'll continue to figure out what it is we need to that particular night to win, and they won't all look the same. But I think our team overall has been doing a good job of, just playing the game that's right in front of us and figuring out a way to get it done.
Time for two more for Coach. We'll go to Chantel Jennings with The Athletic.
Hey, Derek. The team showed up tonight with Point God shirts on to the arena. I'm not sure if you had seen that or not. Chelsea matched her season high with 7 assists. I'm curious, as a former point guard yourself, like, what is it about her on and off the court that makes her a point god?
Yeah, it's a good question. I did not coin that phrase, so I'm not sure what the exact definition is. But I think that what makes Chelsea really special is I think her ability to rise to the moment and not be afraid to make the play that is necessary to be made, whether it's a big shot, it's a pass to set up a teammate. I think that to be a point guard, a great one, or a point guard, you have to also have a level of integrity and leadership quality that allows the team to want to follow you. And I think she's also grown into that in a major way. So her voice is more impactful in the locker room and on the court. And she's becoming a really true, genuine leader, which has been a process and a journey. For many years, the day Candace Parker showed up, it's been CP's team. And Nneka came a few years later. The two of them, have been MVPs. And Chelsea, over the last 5 or 6 years, has continued to create a lane for herself within the team dynamic to let people know that, she's equally as capable of leading our group to success. And so I'm happy for her. She put the work in, and she deserves the fruits of her labor.
Last question for Coach Michelle Vopel, ESPN.
Yeah, Coach, just for your thoughts on Nneka. I know obviously being out for 3 games and then coming back in, how do you feel like she was feeling, and was it just nice to have her back out there tonight?
Oh, yeah. Like, Nneka's like that, when you're, even as an adult, sometimes, people don't like to sleep in the dark, and that little night light just gives them that feeling of comfort and security. That's kind of what Nneka represents for many of us. Is you just feel better when she's on and she's around. And her leadership, not just with her voice, but by example in terms of her work ethic. Her selflessness in terms of always trying to do the right thing for the team, even if it means that she doesn't get the spotlight. And I honestly did not anticipate even being able to play her 29 minutes. Because she hasn't just been able to really do a lot. But to her credit, and I shouldn't be surprised, she normally keeps herself in great shape, doing other things, whether it's pool, riding a bike, yoga, Pilates, whatever it is that helps her body to stay as ready as possible. And, she missed some really easy shots that she's capable of converting that I think would have helped us get even more separation in this game. But she made a lot of plays on both ends of the court that, it just helps us. And we're glad to have her back, and hopefully she's back for the stretch run.
Thanks, Coach.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
All right, questions for Nneka Ogwumike. We'll start with Michelle Vopel, ESPN.
Hi, Nneka, nice to see you back. Coach just compared you to a nightlight, which I think is kind of a nice compliment. He said just having you out there gives sort of a comfort level to the team. Do you feel like that's one of the things you can do? Maybe even, I don't know how you're feeling, if you could kind of tell us this, but just being back on the court gives them a sense of confidence.
Yeah, it just felt comfortable being back out there. Of course, it's not easy for me to watch, but I'm hoping that me being able to watch and come back in and really get a grander perspective contributed to my play. I'm still trying to get back and get a feel for things. I hope that my team feels like I contribute in a way that's very helpful. And I feel good. It's, when injuries happen, you just got to wait until you're ready. And I feel very ready today. So thank you.
Adam Grossbard, LA Daily News.
Hey, Nneka, just what exactly happened? Like, how did it kind of flare up during the game? And like, what were you going through the past week or so?
So I kind of have a history of kind of back issues, but actually it's quite interesting. I was seen virtually by one of our spinal specialists back in LA, and I hold my stress in my back. And so after the week of players deciding to sit out of games and those 3 days, it appeared to have been a lot for me. And so it kind of manifested while I was playing in that game in an area where I hold my stress, which is in my back. I didn't get hit. I don't remember ever experiencing any type of trauma, but that's kind of what happened. So I guess I didn't realize I was stressed, and it manifested in my back locking up, and I just had to wait for it to unlock itself.
John W. Davis, Winsider.
Hi, Nneka. I had a question for you. When you were out, I saw you standing up and, telling players different things, during the game and in the huddles. What did you see while you were out that you felt like you were able to apply tonight against Chicago with that added perspective?
I think that I always try to make an effort to do the small things, and something that I was emphasizing while I was out was the importance of communication, especially on defense. And I feel as though I was able to accomplish that today. Communicating early, being able to help my guards get through screens. And I want to carry that over into the energy that we want to bring into the playoffs.
Last question for Nneka, Dorothy Gentry, New York Times.
Hi, thanks for your time. How did you stay motivated and locked in while you were waiting to return? Like, what was your mentality? And then also, how do you balance being an athlete and your activism?
To be honest, just being surrounded by my team is motivation enough. Still being able to be a part of the team that's just how it is. I feel as though I kind of generate internal drive. So as long as I'm contributing and making someone better in some way, that's all I feel is really what a teammate is being about. Even after the Connecticut game, Fish suggested that I stay home and rest. And it's great to have a coach that is incredibly empathetic to that. But I told him that he couldn't keep me at home. So just being around the team is something that really energizes me. And the balance, I guess I'm going to have to kind of reassess that balance since my back locked up. But it's going to be difficult because I'm not the type of person that can just stop doing. But of course, as playoffs kind of approach, I do have to lock in a little bit more on, I guess, what my job is like physically here in the Wubble, while still balancing my voice and amplifying my voice and also my leadership as the president. I'm not going to stop doing my job because we're here because we wanted to amplify our voices. But I think that there are some times when I have to set some boundaries to allow myself to recharge and get some rest so I can amplify my voice and play well to the best of my ability.
Thank you, Nneka.
Thanks, Eli.
All right, questions for Candace Parker. We'll start with Adam Grossbard, LA Daily News.
Hey, Candace, when you guys went down 13 and then went on that 21-7 run in the second quarter, you, Chelsea, and Nneka combined for 19 of those points. Does it ever kind of feel like you reach a point as a team where the three of you kind of just say, enough already, we're going to try to take over in some ways?
Oh, I wish it would be when the ball tips. I thought we corrected after our rough start when we were 3-3. I thought we corrected the rough starts, the slow starts, the not ready to play starts. Chicago's a great team, and if you let them get comfortable and play with rhythm, and defensively, I think we just were a step slow. We had Cheyenne Parker, who played an excellent game. Allie, she's my teammate. And overseas, if you let her get going, she's one of the best shooters ever. So I think it was more so on the defensive end that we were struggling. But yeah, I hope that it's from the jump ball, because at this point, from here on out, it's basically we're playing like it's postseason.
Doug Feinberg, Associated Press.
Hey, Ace, nice game. Way to be efficient. I think you're 10 of 12 tonight, which is obviously a great offensive game. Talk about just the second half. You played the entire second half. Coach said he kind of leaves it up to you. We can see if you're still running the floor and being efficient. I don't remember the last time you played an entire second half of a game, not in the playoffs.
Against Connecticut a couple games ago. No. Honestly, I really feel like this year, just in terms of condition, I really made a concerted effort during the quarantine to really get on the Peloton and really get in cardio and, take care of my body. And so, we've had some bumps and bruises and things like that. And so I just really trying to take care of my body so I can, play minutes or play the second half if they need me to.
Chantel Jennings, Athletic.
Hey, Candace, I had specifically asked Coach Fisher about your Chelsea Gray Point God shirt. He said that, he hadn't coined the term specifically, so he couldn't speak to the term, but he thought that maybe the point God idea had a lot to do with her leadership, that even on a team with you and Nneka, she has these leadership qualities that make the team want to follow her. I'm curious what it is you see in her leadership qualities.
Well, first and foremost, let Chelsea tell you, I was the one that started calling her point God. This is back in 2017. After we went to the finals and she completely just was hitting game winners and really stepped into that role. So I really enjoy it, and it's cool as a vet to see somebody that is really special. A player at her size to be able to do the things that she does. We need her to score. We need her to, get an assist, get us in something. And the way that she shoots it, it's tough for defenders because she shoots almost like that fadeaway. So you got to not let her get into her shot because she kind of fades and you can't block it. So for me, it's been fun to grow with her. And then she is one of my best friends. And so on the court, I think that energy and that friendship definitely carries over.
Time for two more. Michelle Vopel, ESPN.
Yeah, Candace, is there anything that surprised you about what you guys have done this season or been somewhat unexpected? Because I feel like for the most part, you've done what you hope to do, but is there anything about it so far that has been a little unexpected for you in terms of what you've been able to accomplish as a team?
I think we have high expectations. I think we've been able to kind of get through the bumps and bruises as most of the teams here have, but just to be able to come in and communicate and bounce back. We've won some games this year that in my previous 12 years we wouldn't have won. And I think that's a testament to our character and our leadership and just good vibes on the team, honestly. I think everybody's in it for the right reasons and is being positive and showing them their best selves. And so, I don't think we're surprised, but at the same time, I think we're getting there, right where we need to be.
Last question for Candace. John W. Davis, Winsider.
Hey, Candace. So earlier in your media availability today, you were giving praise to Chicago, saying they're a great team and all of that. But obviously, a lot of the team wearing that shirt. You started this phrase. Do you feel like the point guard debate has been settled in this game, or was this just a retort?
Listen, I want to go off and say Vandersloot is unbelievable. The things that she does on the court vision that she has, the way that she plays the game of basketball. I mean, I remember when she was coming out of college and she got drafted to Chicago. And, you know, to watch her play from Gonzaga and then come into the league and do what she does, this is no disrespect to her. It's just that that's what I've always called Chelsea. So it's kind of the Superman debate, you know? Like Shaq and Dwight could be Superman, but they're going to fight over the name. And to be honest with you, you know, I get sensitive when this is the name that I've called Chelsea since 2017. So it's no ill feelings. Vandersloot is unbelievable. She's a tough guard, a tough opponent. And I've really been lucky to be able to see all these amazing players that are taking the game to the next level. I mean, 18 assists is unheard of. So I'm a part of a game that's changing. And, you know, everybody does what they do. And so there's no disrespect towards her at all.
Thanks, Candace.
Mm-hmm. No problem.
Glad we got
All
that.
right, yeah, no, it feels good after Friday. Questions for Chelsea Gray. We'll start with David Yakowitz, Next Hoops.
Hey, Chelsea. You had your mid-range game going today, you know, throughout the game. You know, I don't know if you've seen some of the debates there about, you know, its usefulness in today's game, but just, you know, from your own perspective, you know, how important do you think that is to have that to fall back on, you know, when they're running you off the three-point line or, you know, they're packing the paint, taking away those easy opportunities there?
I think it's a tough shot to guard, you know, especially somebody that can, you know, be real shifty and kind of change their you know, speed a little bit. And I take pride in the pull-up game. I feel like it's harder to guard. If you get too close, have an explosive dribble and you think I'm going to the hole, it just rise up over the defense, takes body control. And so just working on that to be able to do that on different directions.
Adam Grossbart, LA Daily News.
Hey, Chelsea. First of all, that's an incredible shirt. Second of all, that's amazing. Second of all, early in the fourth quarter, just both teams looked so tired in terms of the shots and some of the decision making. Like, how much of this particular season is about, like, coming down to, like, how do you play through the exhaustion?
Yeah, I think it takes a lot of mental toughness. We were getting good shots at the rim. They were just rolling off. I know a couple of 2-point shots open. We were moving the basketball. Some layups. We got some feet. We got our feet in the paint and just being able to finish those. And they'll start going down. But it's extremely important to take care of our bodies and get the rest that we possibly can with this type of season. We're playing every other day, and we're not the only team that's experiencing it. Everybody is experiencing it. So just be able to, you know, understand those in those moments. Those are good shots. And down the stretch in the playoffs and things like that, we're going to have those moments and we'll be able to knock them down. But I have no problem with the way in the shots we were taking.
Doug Feinberg, Associated Press.
Hey, Chelsea.
Hi.
The turnover aside in the last minute, I mean, the fourth quarter for the last couple of years has been your quarter. I don't know how many points you averaged in the fourth, but it's a pretty high number. Is there something that just clicks? Like, you know what? It's time. I got to take over. I got to make the shot. Or the other night, make that pass to Raquana. Like, is there something in your head that you think it's my time now to do something?
It's really just time and score. Just understanding that, like that, I replay that in my head a lot. To be able to understand, you know, momentum. You know, when you watch film, sometimes you break down like offensive clips and defensive clips to be able to, you know, tie the two into each other. Sometimes you take a bad shot on one end, it leads to transition. Okay, it leads to transition. We make a turnover, something like, how does that compound? And in the fourth quarter, it's extremely important. Like, that's the closing of the game. You know, we also were saying that stuff that's happening in the second quarter, you know, we could have prevented as well. But now we're here in the fourth, like how to take those possessions. And defensively, we had to get a stop, but also get a rebound. Offensively, had the best shot possible, trying to get things into the paint, clicking, everything like that. But mentally, for me, I just want to get the best shot possible. And a lot of that time, it's, either decision-making right off of the pass or rising up over somebody sometimes. But as a team, I think we did a great job of getting some of those good looks in the fourth. Some of them didn't go down. But that's what we want consistently, to be able to get those types of looks.
Time for two more. Dorothy Gentry, New York Times.
Hi, thanks for your time. Can you talk a little bit about Candace as a teammate and her ability to still play at a high level after 12 years, set the tone for the team in a game, just what she brings to you guys?
Starting this year, she looked great, like one of the best times I've ever seen her. And so I kept on calling her. I was like, you're 13. It's just crazy to sometimes hear. It's like, oh, you're in the 13th year, but, I'm going to outwork you. I'm in better shape than you. I enjoy being her teammate for multiple reasons. She's a competitor. She's great. There's always that saying that you want to leave the game better than you found it. And I think she's done that with, how she plays the game, her role on the teams and the teams that she's been on, whether it be just with the Sparks or outside of that. Just a competitive spirit, and you appreciate that. But also you go to like the mind, the IQ, and the way she sees the game at all times. It's important. You understand that. And I've grown to love that. Challenge her. She challenges me. It's kind of been that type of relationship, and learning from each other. And then off the court, she's one of my best friends, and to kind of expand the mind off the court as well. So it all ties into the type of player, how she thinks, what she does, and you really appreciate being having a teammate like that.
Last question for tonight, John W. Davis, Winsider.
Hey, Chelsea, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. Real quick, what was your motivation for wearing your shirt today? Did you have anything behind it? And then also, pregame, we noticed that you were wearing a walking boot. How is your foot feeling? Obviously, you're still able to play.
I just love this type of shirts because, nowadays, nah is the typical like no, and back then it was like yes ma'am, no ma'am, whatever. And it was, she basically sat there and was like, nah. So that's the premise behind the shirt. And I loved it. Your next part of your question, I don't know, man. We really just wanted to come out here and win the game and get better that way. So whatever I had to do and win that way. My foot is fine. I playing my heart out, trying to do the best I can, no matter if, there's going to be bumps and bruises and things like that, but it's more precautionary than anything. But I feel fine.
Thank you, Chelsea. Congrats.
Appreciate it.